Ariel Helwani in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, being joined by the legend himself, Frank Shamrock, just moments after Strikeforce officially closed its doors. And I can't even imagine the emotions going through your body now, Frank, not only because it's the final night for Strikeforce, but for Showtime as well. I mean, you fought Elite XC, their debut. I mean, you've been around this family, and I see you saying goodbye to a lot of them. Describe to us how you're feeling right now.
I'm sad. Fighting has been my life for as long as I can remember. And martial arts is something that saved my life and set me on this journey. And, the fact that I met Scott, he's the only guy that would have ever got me out of retirement, really. Because he had a vision and I believed in it. And, we created magic together. And the friendships we created, the family we created, and the community with Showtime, it's just, and I watched all these guys grow up in the cage, having kids now, and everybody's grown up. So it's just a lot of emotions right now, but I think the over one is I'm just kind of sad.
You talked in the book how hard you took the news a couple years ago when it was announced that Zuffa had purged Strikeforce. Did maybe the last 2 years, the slow death, if you will, does it make this moment easier for you?
Yeah, it does. I knew once we sold the company that, it was just a matter of time before we got rolled up. And, so I made my peace at that time. But it's different because, I've been working with Showtime for a long time and hanging out with them and stuff. And, who knows what happens next.
For a guy who fought on the first Showtime MMA card, for a guy who fought on the first Strikeforce card back in 2006, was this a good representation tonight of the Strikeforce brand?
I think some of the fights could have been more competitive, but I think the main event said it all. Young kid, got a dream, comes from another country. He's willing to train really hard, put everything on the line, and he did the impossible, and that's what Strikeforce was. We did the impossible, and Coker made a place for everyone to go be stars, and all you had to do was close your fist and knuckle up and go out there, man or woman. And that to me, I always needed somebody to believe in as a promoter, to trust, because this was my life. I felt like I was giving him my soul. So when Coker came along, he's the first guy I ever trusted. And he let me do my thing, and we were successful together.
Coker says all the right things when you talk to him about it. Said the right things in the cage. He was a little emotional, it seemed. But this week, you have a chance to sit back with him and talk about the old days, how you all started. I mean, we've had a chance to reflect, but mano a mano, did you guys talk about it?
Not so much. We're going to hang out next week and get back to just hanging out. We used to just hang out, and then we started working really hard on building something extraordinary. And I'm looking forward to just getting back and hanging out and having my old friend back.
Is this good for the sport? Is it good that the Zuffa-owned Strikeforce is going away, or would you have liked to see it survive?
Well, I don't think it's good for the sport because I think it kills some of the passion. The reason why we worked so hard and everyone was so passionate was we were the little engine that could. We didn't have to stand a chance. But, everybody put in so much work and was so, everybody sacrificed. And now that it's one big thing, and things are run a certain way, and there's no leeway for fighters. So unfortunately, I think the fighters lose out on this, and at the end of the day, the fans will lose out. But I'm hopeful that another brand can build the type of energy that we did with Strikeforce.
I thought on short notice, Ron Kruk did a great job on the call, and he should be commended for that. But it was a little sad, if you will. It was a little strange not hearing the voice of Showtime MMA, Mauro Ranallo, your good friend, who is tending to much important matters back home in British Columbia. Was it tough not being here with Mauro tonight?
Yeah, Mauro and I have become very good friends, like with Pat and I and everybody else, and which is funny because Pat and I were going to fight each other one time many years ago. So, just a camaraderie. We spend 5 days just cramming for the show, and then it's much like going to a fight, and the guys you work with become your family. So yeah, it's the whole thing is just pretty tough.
Where do you go from here?
I go get a job, I guess. I don't know. I haven't
have a job.
Apparently, yeah, I don't have a job. So I haven't had a real job since 1990 when I worked at Payless. So I'm figuring out what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to start commentating. Well, I know I'm going to start commentating for the Glory Kickboxing League, and that's going really well. But
on CBS Sports Network?
Yeah, I think they're going to do a CBS Sports deal, or I know there's another network that they're also working with. So they have a big vision and a lot of money. Unlike us, we never had a lot of money. I'm going to work really hard on my film this year. We took my book and we turned it into a screenplay, and I think it's the next most important thing for me to do.
And how about, just we're being reflective, right? We're nostalgic, if you will. Is this maybe the year that Frank Shamrock and the UFC, you know, make amends and you know, become friends again, and you get the respect that you think you deserve, and maybe go in the Hall of... I mean, is this all possible, or does that not even concern you at this point?
Oh, none of that concerns me. Yeah, I mean, I chose this journey. I chose this path, and I chose my friends. And if you don't want to be my friend, that's fine, and it's just business to me. But yeah, I never see that happening, and I'm not worried about it.
Speaking of never seeing things happen, no one believes that this is the end of MMA on Showtime. What are they telling you? Give us the scoop. When is MMA returning to Showtime?
As soon as they get a viable alternative and they create and or can conglomerate something that stands for the Showtime quality. And that's where the Strikeforce relationship fell apart when Zuffa bought it. Is they took all the talent and they beat up the brand, and it didn't have that same super high class Showtime quality. So I know when we get that group together, or that whatever it is, we'll be right back in this business.
Okay, final question from Cesar Gracie to Phil Baroni to Kung Lee to Nick Diaz. I mean, you think about the great Strikeforce moments. Frank Shamrock is almost in every single one of them. What was your favorite? Looking back, now that it's over, Frank Shamrock's favorite Strikeforce moment?
Herschel Walker tying my tie. Just, it's hard, It's hard to pick a favorite moment, because I was literally living this dream that was extraordinary, and literally, he tied my tie, dude. I learned how to tie a tie getting this job. I grew up doing this, and I watched everybody else do so, and that to me was the best part. This was my family, so to watch my family mature and grow up and have success that was the best part.
Congrats on a great run. Thank you very much for the time. As always, looking forward to what's next for you in 2013.
Me too, and if anybody wants to hire me, just let me know. Can I do the hero shot when I walk away?
Absolutely. Here's Frank Shamrock about to do the hero shot as we close the door on Strikeforce, Chesapeake Energy Arena here in Oklahoma City. There he goes, the legend, the man who built Strikeforce, literally on his back, 2006, March. Cesar Gracie knocked him out, walks into the empty arena as they take down the cage here in bitterly cold Oklahoma City. Good night, Strikeforce. Good night.